and the fact that we haven't seen a huge amount of years of play coming from these teams, so it's very hard for them to get any sort of consistency going. So each match will need to be taken on as its own individual thing. We're not going to be able to see the dominance from that first match carry on to maybe the fourth match. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly changes, whether or not the consistency can stay there for Penta, and what My Little Pony changes to try and get themselves back into this.
Killer's up, Journey for the stop, but the pressure will continue building. Siki into the corner. Ravallo rolls through. This one's good for Pwn. Killer, can he finish? It's going to be Zidrox keeping that one out of the 90. A good play here, but it's a slow start here. A little bit bunched into the corner. They can't be crowding like that. They need to make sure they trust their teammates on these plays. It's now a 2v1, but quickly stopped. Zidrox will force this one out, not allowing the final touch to be played. And we're back now into the orange zone. Close, just over the line, and forced through. This one's going to be in favor now of Penta Sports as they move forward. This is on target, but it's bumped away here. L Journey will carry it out, and so far, a good pressure turnaround. It looked like My Little Pony was going to get a little bit of a counterplay on that, but Penta's quick to knock that down.
Yeah, but they really need to make sure they avoid plays like that. It was certainly risky what they decided to go for. We can see Ravallo go up for this, and he has to win. He has got no choice but to win that ball. Otherwise, he's left no defense behind, and he doesn't. It's an easy finish off.
We are now 1-0, 45 seconds into the match, and Penta yet again in the lead. And we're back over to the line. Holding on, killer number 7 will play this one out. Zidrox has a nice clear, but it's going to kiss the ceiling and set up for an interesting position. Ravallo, will he be able to make anything out of this? It's going to be unsuccessful. And back now, nice on target. Whoa, Siki will carry it off the line by the short hairs. And Siki will take this one back out now on the line, but a continuous defensive stops are going to keep the play over in pressure on the orange zone. It looks like My Little Pony is going to be moving in for an offensive strike. Finally bumped away. Forced in here to Pwn's hands. And killer number 7 missing the play. Now this one's bouncing high, and it's a chance for a little bit of disruption here as Zidrox takes it on a little bit wide.
Oh, not only wide, but early. He could definitely have taken that one down and tried to at least wait until he got some teammates around, put it above the backboard, and allowed the rebound shot to come in. Didn't do that, and it just seems like that's going to be the crux of My Little Pony so far in this series, of just every time they get it into this offense, they don't really know what to do with it.
They have really not had many times to execute. They go in for the individual plays, but you get into a 2v1 situation at this skill level, you're going to have a really tough time being able to get something in realistically with a simple flick. This isn't 1s and 2s. Full 3s game, you've got plenty of defenders back there to block all those plays.
Oh, and it's happened yet again. They've tried to go for the aerial, and they've not got it in time. Just, they keep committing to balls that they really shouldn't be. Zidrox tried to get himself out, but once again, not fast enough.
It's a nice touch by Siki, just enough to give Killer enough time to play into that. It's a good timing, patience play. Instead of trying to work that one out and land it to the ground, knows his teammate is going to be there and sets up for the 2-0. We are 3 minutes left in the game. Siki's on target, but it's just a bit high here. And now back over. Now Pwn will keep the pressure on. Zidrox stops that one cold. Will it be enough here? The pressure continuing to build. Penta's not giving up yet. And Siki over the line into your heart. 3-0.
They just kept punching that wall until it decided to fall down. It all came off a very bad kickoff there from My Little Pony. They just allowed the pressure to immediately come to them, and it never went away. Penta Sports looking solid, looking like the type of team that's very good at just noticing the weaknesses of their opponents and squeezing in on them like an old-school Northern Gaming team.
L Journey, nice tap, but it's a really bad clear here for Siki to take execution on 4-0. That was not what they were needing.
No, there's not really much here I can analyze either. It's just a bad touch there from L Journey. No one's there to try and help him out. He needs to get that one even downfield, which he's not going to be able to with that sort of shot towards him. So his only other option was to get it into the corner or get it as high as possible and allow people to rotate back. Instead, tap that one out, and the shot went straight in.
Well, when Penta's up 3-0, they're willing to make a full crash in the goal and take more risks. And I think that worked out very well for them, taking on a very short opportunity just off the kickoff. We're back in. Ravallo on the line. L Journey for the tap. Will be a second one here. Pwn getting that one out of the air and will force it forward. Zidrox is already in line waiting for the play. Missing the position. Goes for the player, not the ball. That's an interesting touch here. L Journey for the back pass. Will it be enough to close out? It's going to be a bit high. They're trying to set something up pretty conventionally where they at least get something to the center of the box. But at the same time, they're not really setting anything up that's going to be stopping this defense and forcing them into uncomfortable positions.
No, it certainly isn't. It just looks like every time My Little Pony are in offense, they're actually surprised themselves that they've managed to get themselves up there, and there's not really anything coming together for them. They've only taken 2 shots throughout this entire match. None of them have really been that threatening, and we're seeing the team play starting to come out here from Penta, who just very comfortable.
El Journey with a stop, but it's not going to anyone. Rivalo will not be able to pull possession from this one. Zidrox is out of spot, and Siki will take a very long shot for the hat trick, 5-0.
Yeah, they're already out of rotation when we get to this point. Zidrox is trying to get himself back, but he's in two minds. Does he go for ball or does he go for boost? Kind of went midway throughout both of them and ends up not being able to get himself back in time. Doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. 4-0, 5-0. It's still a ridiculous score that they've got to try and climb back from, and honestly, this game is just not looking like it's theirs.
No, it'll take a big adjustment coming into Game 2 to see how this one is going to be reflected on. It does seem like that they're working enough on defense to where they're comfortable making clears to each other, but once they get on offense, as you said a few times now, we really don't see anything. They're just surprised that they're there, and they're just happy to be here, you know? Zidrox off the backboard, holds on. El Journey missing the play on this one. Zidrox will keep this one going. Rivalo's at the top of the box waiting for an angle, but Siki's going to keep it out to the line, not allowing anything to be cleared towards center. Siki on target. Back in, El Journey will make the stop in the air, and killer number 7 with a drop here. Going to give this one a chance for his team to get back on defense while they continue to build forward. And this is back in again. Zidrox makes the stop. They're getting the successful clears, and it seems like the passing play, they know where they want to put it. Once they get to the 50, it's where it gets confusing.
Yeah, well, the thing is they've allowed this to... Oh, what a great individual play there by Killer. Doesn't quite go in, but the follow-up... Oh, Killer's going to get it. You know what? Usually, you can call the steal on that. I actually don't know if that original shot was on target, but Killer deserves this.
You know, Pone technically has that one, but Killer's follow-through in the finish absolutely secures it, locks it in. Good offensive play overall coming in from Penta on that entire play. They knew when to crash. Once again, they also do have the luxury of having a considerable lead at this point, and they're willing to make these all-in plays.
Well, the scary thing now for My Little Pony is that they've allowed Penta to feel this comfortable in this series. They've got Penta to a point where they are pressing up as much as they currently are. And Siki's just going to be able to easily turn this one in because they're just sat right in the middle of these plays, and these passes aren't strong enough. They're being intercepted almost every single time, and it's allowing the more aggressively minded Penta Sports to come through and pick themselves off a ton of easy goals. I mean, looking at the stats, I don't think I've seen a difference in shots like that in such a long time. It is 14. I mean, no, it's 16 actually
16.
to 2.
It's unbelievable. And you know what? The all-out offensive does work for them. It's going to take a bit of a mindset, and 8 goals. We're going to talk about that one just a second here. What a great play here from Killer. Takes the long play. Siki's here for the center. You know what? Honestly, great communication goes a long way with offensive teams like this.
Great communication and comfort goes a long way in games like this because you see a lot of top teams, once they start to feel the pressure, they sort of turtle themselves up. They don't play to the best of their ability because they want to focus on defense. Instead, we see Siki on the wall during that play pull off one of the best assists I've seen. That would have been even, like, we would have lost our minds over that if this wasn't already 7-0 going into that. But great performance so far from Penta Sports, but they need to avoid what happened to Northern Gaming last week, because Northern Gaming, they looked really comfortable in their series that we cast them on. They were up 2-0, and then they suddenly relaxed it a little bit, and that cost them. They ended up going 2-2. So it's important for Penta Sports now to look at what they're doing right now and say, right, keep the aggression up, because Northern Gaming, they relaxed it, and they got punished for it.